Registered on the 25th of June 1998 is my recently purchased Alfa Romeo 156 2.5 V6 litre. The original purchaser, Mr. Edwards, bought this and he paid £22,848. That's the original invoice. The only optional extra for this model that he selected was a factory sunroof, which was £504 plus VAT. He part-exed his Alfa Romeo 164 3 litre against this car, of which they gave him £1,500 for. It's a very original car. It's only covered 25,000 miles in 23 years. So I'm going to do a quick video and just show you what sort of condition it's in and how it's doing after those years. Clearly very well looked after. With it being a Lusso spec, you do get the wooden steering wheel as standard, and you do get the fake wooden centre console and gear knob. Everything is in great condition and everything works on this vehicle. So we'll have a good look around it and have a little chat about it and why I bought it and what's appealing about these cars. The rear seats potentially were not satin until I purchased it. It's the velour interior. It's quite low spec. I mean, it's not got sport suspension or anything like that. Doesn't have a passenger airbag. That was an option on the earlier cars. However, I do think that's probably a good thing because the clips always fall out anyway on these models. So let's get out and have a look at it. It's a very early model. I think the R plates are the more desirable cream of the crop of these cars because they're the earlier models. I believe they're probably the original plates, the correct font size. It's rolling on 15-inch wheels, standard suspension. The only modification I've made to it is the Wizard exhaust, which you can see just there. It's finished in Alpha 130 red, and yeah, it's still red. The car was obviously kept inside and very well looked after. It has a lot of service history with it, so I know it's been looked after. There's no fading on the headlights. The front bumpers have been resprayed because plastics do fade at a different rate to metal. So the previous owner, it's had 3 owners, of which I'm the 3rd. Previous owner last year that I bought it off, he had them resprayed. There is slight fading occurring on the front badge, but that's easily replaced. There'll be no problems replacing that. We've got the original windscreen and all the original windows. They are also etched, which was a very 90s thing. There we go, they're etched. Something I do love about the 156 is the styling. And the second thing I love about it is the engine in this particular model. We've got great features like this. This is the rear door handle. That was a very new thing for this sort of era of cars. Possibly this was the first one to have it. We've got metal door handles, not plastic like on the later Alphas. I mean, it's near showroom condition. Very near. The wheels are immaculate. We've got 4 matching tyres, as fitted by the previous owner. Got the original mats. I've not done any detailing on this car. I have washed it. That's as far as I've gone. And this is the main reason why I purchased it. It's the 2.5 V6 engine, 0 to 60 in 7.3 seconds, 190 horsepower and 162 foot-pound of torque. We've got no dramas with rust anywhere. The floor pan, the sills, all in great condition. Under here, in great condition also. I may replace this because it's faded and get a new one of them cheap enough, or I can clean it up. The cam belt is due, not on mileage but on years, so that will be done very soon. I'll do that over winter. because we're experiencing quite mild weather at present, I've not took it off the road, but I will be taking it off the road probably in the next couple of weeks, and I'll get the cam belt done. I may refresh the suspension, potentially. Put the sport suspension pack on it, the original one, and I might change the wheels to some 16-inch tele-die wheels because they were an option. It will get used, but it will get maintained to a high standard, a very high standard. So we've still got all the original stickers and the original stickers just here as well. The engine's barely run in really when you think about it, 25,000 miles. And the aircon's just kicked in. Yes, the aircon does work on a 1998 Alfa Romeo. Impressive, eh? It's a wonderful engine, wonderful gearbox. It's a very slick gearbox, it's Alfa's own gearbox. We've got no GM rubbish in this, like they had on the later ones, on the 159s. The rear badge hasn't faded, and it's extraordinary how that hasn't faded. Potentially it's been replaced, I'm not sure, but for a 98 car, regardless of this mileage, not to have a faded badge is impressive. And the aircon fan has just kicked in. I'm not a stranger to Alfas, I've had a few. This one nearly found me in a way. I mean, I was on Facebook on the 156 register, and one of those sale posts comes up. It wasn't for sale post, it was one of those posts, would anyone be interested in? This was Friday night, I jumped on it. Neil messaged me back the Monday. The Sunday I went over in my 156 Twin Spark and I bought it, and I drove the red one home, and then I went back for the other one later that day. I kind of knew I was going to buy it before I even got to it, because to find one in this condition, I mean, it must be one of the lowest mileage 156s in the UK. It must be. I'd be interested to find out, you know, if anyone else has got a low mileage one. The mileage will go up. I'm not going to sit here and look at it. It's going to get used. I may go to Europe and have a road trip in it. I might even take it to the Nürburgring just to say I've done a lap. Why not? Okay. So, no corrosion. Everything's present and correct. Oil just in case, you never know. Toolkit, present and correct. Spare wheel, present and correct. European Car of the Year 1998. And that sticker is the original sticker. It's still in great condition. Most of them have faded and disintegrated by now. Yeah, I mean, in true Alfa fashion, there's going to be something wrong. This always keeps falling down. I'll get that fixed. That's an easy job to deal with. Walter de Silva, who designed this car, possibly, arguably, his best work. He later went on to work for Volkswagen. He had a very successful career, but I think he always looks back at this and thinks this was possibly one of his highlights. Well, I believe it is anyway. The car is garaged. It's away from sunlight when it's not in use. I am selective when I use it. Sometimes you can't help with the British weather though, it's not on your side. They're becoming quite a rare car, these 156s. I mean, you don't really see them, generally. And you certainly don't see them in this condition. You know, I do look forward to going to the odd show next year and meeting some other Alfa 156 owners. Yeah, I believe this is the purest 156. It's pre-facelift, it's not a GTA, it's as Walter intended. I do love the GTA, I think it's a great car, but I've got a bit of a soft spot for the early cars with no body kit. I mean, it doesn't even have side skirts, it's not even lowered, but it still looks great. I will do a few more videos, probably going to be next year now. I'll get a volunteer and we'll do some drive-by videos of the exhaust. It does sound quite wonderful. This is an earlier car, so we don't have catalytic converters on the manifold, so it's what they call a CF2 car. The CF3 cars did have caps in the manifold. This only has a cap sort of in the middle towards the transmission tunnel area. It's a light car, so it goes relatively well. By today's standards, obviously not ridiculously quick, but it's not really about that, is it? Alright, well, thanks for watching, and look out for another video soon.